We do 30 minutes of live side split stretching every single day. Pretty much at this time is when we start. And let's get started. Today we're going to go and do something a little bit different than usual. We're actually going to try and get into a side split right now to begin so that we can sort of understand why we do all the warm-up that we do and why we do all of these warm-ups and exercises to get started. All right, so I think, Manish, you know this because you were on yesterday. We are going to spread our legs nice and wide until it's no longer comfortable. I'm already uncomfortable. We're going to get into push-up position. Oh, man, I am struggling already. And then we're going to externally rotate the feet, point the toes up, walk the hands back, and see how deep we can get into that stretch. Wow, I cannot move. Okay, so from what I've seen so far, I need that warm-up for sure because I'm stuck like right here. I'm trying to wiggle a little bit further. Oh, okay. Well, now we know that I can do a lot better when I am warmed up. All right, let's crawl back into that position. Oh, and start our regular warm-ups. All right. We're going to start with hip cars. And hip cars are all about bringing your leg through its full range of motion at the hip. I am a little bit sore from yesterday, so that could be why I was struggling just now. But hopefully, after some hip cars, we'll keep testing how deep we can get into a side split as we do more warm-up. All right, so we're doing hip cars. They look like this. Lift your knee high, open the leg wide, ankle up, leg down and back. Just trying to get as much range of motion out of your muscles as possible. And we're just aiming for 10. Let's switch to the other side. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. I know I look like I'm going pretty fast, but really try to control the muscle and get a full contraction to open up that hip and to lift your knee as high as you can, to lift your ankle as high as you can, and to really contract the glutes and hamstring to pull that leg back. All right, we're doing 10. So let's do 3 more, I think. Sounds about right. And let's do them in reverse. Same thing. Pull the leg back with hamstring and glutes. Open up to the side, ankle down, knee forward. Try to keep that knee nice and high. You should be able to lift it up even higher, but most people don't have the muscle control to lift it up, and that's normal. All right, that's the difference, in my opinion, between flexibility and mobility. I think flexibility is what is possible to get into, and mobility is whether or not you really have control over that position. And I would argue that this stuff that we're doing right now is all about having control over the position. All right. But of course, a lot of different people have different approaches and different terminology for everything. Lots of different schools of thought. And I'm open to hearing if you get different opinions. All right. We just switched to the other side, if that wasn't clear. And I think this is 9 and 10. All right, that was a lot of hip work. And I'm gonna come in, make the comments real fast. Hi, Kurbis from Turkey. Welcome, welcome. All right, 7 people around right now. We do 30 minutes of live side split stretching every single day. And today we're doing things a little bit different. We're gonna keep on testing how deep we can get into the side split as we do the warm-up. Usually we do 3 big warm-ups exercises, and then we do 5 stretches, and then we finally do the actual side splits. But I wanted to kind of show people why we do so much warm-up and get our bodies prepared for so long. And yeah, so we just did the hip cars, and let's do some elephant walks, and then we'll do a retest. All right, to get into elephant walk, you get into this L shape like this. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. And I want you to put your weight into the hip with the straight leg. So I want you to just pop that hip out just a little bit. And then from here, I want you to bring your belly button down as low as it can go to stretch out these 2 hamstrings. The stretch will feel different in both legs because they're doing slightly different things, but they're working different areas of the hamstring. You'll find in the straight leg, you might feel the hamstring stretch really high just under the butt. You might find in the bent leg hamstring stretch, it's somewhere in the middle, closer to the knee than to the back upside, and that's normal. All right, let's add a little bit of complexity to this. Grab the straight leg calf, open up and rotate that chest out towards the direction of the straight leg. So my right leg is straight. I'm rotating and facing my chest to the right. I'm going to lift my arm up, point to something, and mark it so that next time I get into this position, I'm going to get a little deeper. All right, switch to the other side. Same thing. Mark your spot, open up your chest, and really feel that hamstring stretch and that outer glute stretch. All right, let's keep going. We're going to do 10 of these. 2, 3. I've switched up my microphone placement. It's on the collar of my shirt today, but it is bouncing around a little bit. So if you hear anything weird, let me know in the comments, and I'll put the microphone back on my glasses where they usually are. When they're on my glasses, they pretty much stay with my face in the same place in relation to my mouth. So should be a little bit more consistent. All right, I think we're at 7 and 8, 9, and for the last one, really focus on that hamstring stretch. Keep the belly button low and open. 10. All right, let's do a retest to see if we're doing a little bit better on that side split stretch. I'm going to come in, check the comments. Sounds sometimes not clear when you turn your head the other way. All right, noted. In that case, I'm going to put this right back up here so we have a little bit more consistent audio. All right, let's do a little bit of a test just to see how we feel and how deep we can get into that side split. All right, spread the legs out. I'm already feeling much better than before we started. I want you to put your hands down into a push-up position, then externally rotate the legs. What that means is I want you to put your heel down, point the toes out, and your knees should point up, your quads should point up. From here, I want you to try and get into a deeper stretch and walk your hands back to a deeper position. Wow, this really hurts. Okay. I'm definitely not as deep as I usually am at the end of the workout. So now we know. All right, let's go. Last warm-up stretch, or sorry, warm-up exercise. We're gonna do some Cossack switches. They look like this. We're gonna stand in that wide leg position, and then we're gonna put all our weight onto one side and hang out there, feeling the pressure in our hips, feeling the stretch in our Achilles and our calves. And I want you to externally rotate that foot, which I really mean the whole leg. And just hang out here for a little bit, just a couple of seconds. And then what makes a Cossack switch is we try to keep our butts as low as possible and mirror on the other side. So do the exact same thing on the other side. Just gonna hang out here a little bit. If you want, you can do a couple little pulses. Move your limbs a little. I like to externally rotate the leg to get that hip working. And that's it. We're going to do 5 reps total, and we're going to pick up the pace now. All right. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. That's it for the warm-ups. It's time to get into the stretches. We're going to start with the hamstring stretch. I'm still shaking out my limbs. And the way I do the hamstring stretch is really good for beginners who are maybe a little bit more strong. And because they're strong, the hamstrings are extra tight and they struggle to get into a stretch. All right, so we're going to start by standing up straight. We're going to take a step forward and then throw the hips back. So we're going to try and bring our upper body horizontal or as close to it as possible. If you're a little bit higher up, that's totally okay. This way, you have gravity pulling your whole upper body down, okay? From here, I want you to keep in mind that where your hips are controls the angle of the stretch. If you throw your hips further back, your stretch gets more intense, all right? And that's it. If you are in this position and you're feeling a little bit wobbly and unbalanced, go grab a stool, grab a chair, grab something to help you stabilize. If you are otherwise good, take a wider stance and let's focus on bringing our belly buttons down to the thigh or belly buttons as low to the ground as we can. Okay, let's go. Apply steady pressure and 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's 30 seconds. Come on up. Switch to the other side. Same thing. Stand up straight. Take a step forward with the leg you want to stretch. Throw the hips back. Widen your stance for balance. Grab onto something if you need to help with stability. And we'll do our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, hamstring stretch is done. We're going to move on to the second of our stretches. It's going to be the butterfly. And what I want you to focus on is getting your back against a wall or something strong and flat so that you can lean against it for some support. The reason why I say that is because I like to rest my hips, my shoulder, my head against that wall before I bring my feet in together. This way, when my knees pop up, I can really focus all of my intention on bringing the knees down and opening up the hips instead of trying to figure out if my posture is good or pulling on my feet or something like that. All right? Because the point of this stretch primarily is to open up the groin. And we want to make sure we focus on the right things. All right. So now that we are in this position, I want you to use your muscles, the outer thigh muscles and the glutes, to really open up that groin, pull your knees down into the ground. And once you feel like you can't do any more with muscle power, take your hands and push a little bit into the hips. We're going to use the wall behind us to help support. And let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep steady pressure. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bring the legs up, relax the arms, and move your legs just a little bit. All right. We are 2 of our 5 total stretches. Next up, we're going to do some pancake. And the pancake looks a lot like the side split. And the way we're going to set it up is going to look a lot like the side split. So bear with me. All right. I'm going to stand up straight. Then we're going to let the legs slide out until you're no longer comfortable. If you are not strong enough to slide your feet out and be in control of that position, feel free to grab something to hold on to, like a chair, so that you can help wiggle yourself into position. And as soon as you're uncomfortable here, I want you to stop, come back up just a little bit, and focus on folding at the hips. All right? So when we're folding at the hips, I want you to really feel the stretch in your hamstrings. And I want you to feel a little bit of the stretch in the adductors, which is the inner thigh muscles. And that's it. From here, you can think about this the same way we're doing the hamstring stretch. If you stick your butt further back, move the hips behind you that way, it'll increase the intensity of that stretch in the hamstrings. And if you want, you can lift your arms and it'll put more leverage out in front of you and help bring your chest down to the ground. The pancake is all about folding so that your belly button comes in between your legs. And that's it. Apply a little bit of pressure if you want to pull yourself down. Otherwise, you can just hang out in this position for 30 seconds. All right, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, walk out of that stretch. Come on up into standing. Man, my hamstrings are dying. I'm going to pop in real quick, check the comments. Everything looks good for the moment. Oh, we have a whole bunch of people on. We're doing 30 minutes of side split stretching. We started about 15 minutes ago, and we do this every single day to build a little bit of consistency and hopefully create a little community around side splits so that we can all have something to come back to and help keep us motivated while we try to get those side splits. All right, let's get back into it. Fourth stretch is a nice break from the pancake. We're going to get into pigeon. Pigeon looks a little bit like this. We're going to lift our ankle up to the opposite hip and bring our chest down into that leg. All right. So we're going to do the variation. Actually, we've been doing a variation where we're laying on the ground for the whole week. So let's switch it up and do one where we're laying on our back. In this variation, you take your ankle, you cross it over onto the opposite knee or just below it. And then you reach your arms through, you pull that leg in towards your chest. Try to keep your hips low against the ground and not curl up too far. But other than that, that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. You should feel the stretch out in the outer hip and possibly the hip joint down here and the inner thigh of the leg that's crossed. All right, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, all right, that was intense. We want you to apply consistent and steady pressure the whole entire stretch. It's really easy to start relaxing and get really comfortable because you're laying on your back, but please keep holding on with steady pressure. All right, switch to the other side. Same thing. Pull the leg in, and 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, man. I recommend you doing both the pigeon and the figure four. A lot of the time, people think that the pigeon is a more intense stretch, so it's by far better. I find that they're surprisingly different. With the pigeon, because you're pulling, with the figure four, because you're pulling on the leg, you kind of control the angle really well. And with that, you can kind of pick and choose exactly where you feel the stretch in your hip. And with the pigeon, when you're laying down on the ground, this leg tends to want to shift somewhere between here and here. And then you might have your hips in here, or you might be out further away. And all those little things change the stretch. So experiment and see if there's one that is maybe a little bit more intense and feels like you're working harder, but not nearly as close. In the pigeon, I feel like I can bring my chest really low to the ground, but in the figure 4, I feel like I'm really far away. All right, let's go. It's time for the final stretch. We are doing side splits. We have done a ton of warm-up. We've stretched a whole bunch of things, so we should get really deep now, finally. All right, let's see. Foxy Waxy says she is more comfortable doing figure 4s and struggles with the pigeons. That's totally normal. And it really depends on where your flexibility is at already in these specific muscles. All right, let's get into side splits. So if you've been on since the beginning, we've done a couple of these, trying to figure out how effective the warm-up is, and we're going to keep doing them. So spread your legs as wide as you can. Once it is no longer comfortable, I want you to put your hands down like you're about to do a push-up. Then with the pressure off your legs, I want you to externally rotate the legs. What that means is the heel is on the ground, the toes are pointing up, knees pointing up, and quadricep muscles are pointing up. I want you to do it on both legs. And I'm going to slowly scoot back. And then walk your hands back so you can put more weight onto the hips and do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And I am definitely much better than the first 2 times we tried to get into this. All right, that's it. Once you cannot get any deeper, it's time for our 30 seconds in this position. We're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds, but we're going to get up in between. Don't worry. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward, get back into that push-up position with your hands, crawl out of that side split, and come on up. Whew, that was intense. Shake out those legs, relax for a little bit. We're going to relax for 20, 30 seconds, get some blood pumping, and then get back into it. Oh, all right. Hey, Liverpool, welcome back. It's good to see you. Don't worry about missing any days. It's all about practicing consistency, and consistency doesn't have to be every single day, right? Like elite, crazy people who spend their whole lives bodybuilding, they show up for 8 hours at the gym every single day, but we're not those people. This counts called splits on the side, so that you do the other stuff that's important to you, and we make some time for splits on the side. All right. Whew. That's enough break. Let's get back into side splits. Liverpool, you're going to be totally not warmed up, so I'm sorry. But earlier in the live stream, I guess I was testing how difficult it was to get into a side split before doing the warm-up, and I couldn't even get to the ground. Like, I was struggling past this position, partially because I'm already sore, but also because there was no warm-up. But now we've done a whole bunch of warm-up, and it's time for the second side split. Let's go. Spread the legs wide until it's no longer comfortable. Then fold at the hips, get into a push-up position from here. Externally rotate the legs so that your heels are on the ground and your toes are pointing up, and your knees and your your knees and your quads are all pointing up. Then slowly walk your hands back towards your hips so that you can put more of your body weight into the hips, and let that bring you deeper into a side split-ish stretch. All right, from here, we're going to hang out for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward, bring the legs back together, and stand back up. Relax. Get some blood flowing back into those legs. Move. Oh man. After 30 seconds of side split stretching, all my muscles are confused and feel weird. So I like to get some weird movement, get blood flow, and luckily, we need to take a little break in between. Oh. Yep. If it's your first stretch all day and you're going right into side splits, I agree. It probably hurts. Ow. All right, let's take a couple more deep breaths, relax, and get ready to do our third and final side split. Open those legs nice and wide. As soon as it gets uncomfortable, fold at the hips, plant your hands into a push-up position, externally rotate the legs so that your heels are down and your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your quads are pointing up. Walk the hands back slowly until you have a lot of your weight directly over your hips, and use that to help get yourself into a deeper split position. Do a little bit of a wiggle to see if you can get deeper, and that's it. Last 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward. Come on out. Oh, my legs are super tired. I'm going to crawl over back to the camera so I can read and check if there are any final comments. But, oh wow, we're only 27 minutes in. Awesome. We are done. We are all wrapped up with side splits for today. There's still a couple people online. I don't know if I know everybody, so feel free to introduce yourself in the chat real quick. I'm not really taking attendance, but I like to know if we have a lot of regular people so I can breeze through some of the details and pick up the pacing for everybody else. Yeah, so if you would throw a comment into the chat. All right, that's it. We did 28 minutes of side split stretching already, and I hope you were able to get a little bit of exercise and a little bit of stretching done. My hips are totally fried, so I'm good for sure. Thank you so much for coming and practicing consistency with me today, doing the side splits. I appreciate everybody for coming in. We are done. We are done. If you are just popping in and you have not yet, we are wrapped up for today, but we're doing 30 minutes of live side split stretching every single day so that we have a little bit of consistency and a little bit of community built around our collective goals. Go ahead and hit subscribe wherever that might be for you so that you can get notified when I am live. And I hope to see you again soon. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great, wonderful weekend, rest of your Friday, and I hope to see you soon.